So this is the DC Extended Universe's first R-rated film, basically, other than the Joker, because the Joker's not really in the DCEU, and it's also the first female superhero team-up film. Mm-hmm. What inspired the choice to make it rated R, and made you guys confident enough to go in that direction?
Well, it really started with Christina Hodson, our writer, and Margot, who just fell in love with these characters and wanted to create something that was bold and truly original, and they wanted to push boundaries and make it a fun ride, and so they didn't want any limits to doing that, and that just led them to R. I think it was really about them just being kind of unshackled and having a lot of fun with the storytelling.
And if you think about it, too, I mean, Harley, right, she's, this lovable psycho. But having Harley restrained,
Yeah.
an R rating allows her to be the most audacious version of herself. So it always felt endemically like it would be an R-rated film to fully embrace, her. And also the purpose of the film,
Was it freeing to let Harley loose?
I think so. I think so. The thing that's wonderful about this film and about, our version of Harley is you get to see a lot of different aspects of her behavior, a lot of dimension. Everybody fell in love with Harley in Suicide Squad, but you get to see, a more tender, always messy, nutty version of Harley, but she's going through her breakup with the Joker. It's actually very touching and emotional as well. She's fabulously lovable all the time, so I think it could be a movie just devoted to Harley,
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's so interesting to watch all the time.
Yeah.
There are a lot of references to like the rest of the DC universe, specifically to like Batman. You know how like her hyena is named Bruce.
Bruce, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Suicide Squad, like the little Captain Boomerang reference or whatever. Mm-hmm. Were there any cameos or anything that you guys wanted to include but couldn't?
Not really. I think we were just trying to keep our mind focused on this movie, this story, doing the best job of telling this one. And we, love DC and obviously love the fan base. And all you have to do is go to Comic-Con and see how much it all means to those fans. And we just want to do right by them. So we thought the best way to do it was to really focus on the script we had at hand and these characters and doing right by them throughout the process.
I think it's always fun to have nods, to have their aspects of the world, but like Brian said, like this is its own thing. But those are fun references.
The film is like distinctively different than any other DC film that you guys have put, that Warner Brothers has put out. Mm-hmm. What would you say? Like, were there any films that inspired it?
I think it was, first of all, it was really, they took a page out of the comics, right? And there's a bold, boisterous quality to obviously the Harley Quinn books, but also Birds of Prey. And all of those women have a bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they're all just fantastic, but also flawed. And so I think that led the process, and we really, of course, there's anytime in the making of a movie, you look at other movies and you take references stylistically, but really it was taken from the comics first and foremost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The ending of the film kind of sets up like the Birds of Prey itself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys like have any ideas of where you're going after this?
We have to get through this release and hope this does well, but look, this could go anywhere. I mean, it's such interesting characters, and now that the world has been primed, but I think it's really premature to say, but it's such a rich world, hopefully we get to dabble in it.
I'd love to see what Christina's brilliant brain does next.